Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Sunday. We are here for Poetry Sundays with Life Circle Poets, and our host today is the amazing, phenomenal, energetic, enthusiastic, advocate, activist, poet, poem writer, songwriter, Jamaica Green. Please give it up for her. We're going to give her our attention right now. Jamaica, thank you so much for being here and for hosting this wonderful show.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so much for all of your work and that awesome intro. I couldn't have said that better myself. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Poetry Sundays with LCP Life Cycle Poets. We have Barrington in the house. Hi, Barrington. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Greetings, blessed love. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Wonderful, yes. Greetings, internet world, perfect love.
Okay, so Barrington, I see that you had a little bit of issues with the internet coming on. Are you good now? Is everything good on your
Yes,
side?
yes. Internet wise, yeah, I am up and clear. You can see me, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, because you're in the place, and we know we have people who are going to be watching us live. I'm going to give you a moment to breathe,
Yeah.
and Kim and I are going to do a quick piece called "The River," and then we'll connect with you on your pieces. Is that okay?
Fine. That's
Okay.
cool.
Okay. This one is a piece of nostalgia, and it has a lot of meaning for me because, you know, the river has always been a place of peace and serenity. And being here right now under lockdown is very difficult sometimes. And the river, you know, just brings me to that place of peace. So, how can a tub compare to the river? How can a tub compare to the sea? How can a tub compare to the river or sea? Warm river waters glowing and flowing. Warm river waters sometimes cool. Warm river waters, they beckoning to me. Come play in me. Come washing me. Come splishing me. Come splashing me. Come rest to re-resoul in me. I'm like the river, growing and flowing like the river, moving and grooving like the river, growing and flowing, growing on into infinity. My capillaries and attributaries, they float on into the sea, on to infinity. So nobody think you can contain me. Nobody thinks you can contain me. I'm like the river, growing and flowing like the river. Moving and grooving like the river, growing and flowing, growing on into infinity. Come on, Kim.
I was waiting for the tune. I was waiting for the tune, but I'm moving with the.
Moving like the river, growing and flowing, growing on into infinity. River, grooving and moving like the river,
River,
moving and grooving like the river,
river.
moving and moving, grooving into infinity.
I like that piece. It has such beautiful rhythm to it. I love that piece. It moves kind of like a river, you know?
It does. It does.
So I'm gonna go off screen. I'm gonna bring Lioness Sheeta in. She is waiting in the waiting room. So she's coming on screen now. Lioness Sheeta, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. She's ready. I'm bringing her on screen for you, and I will go off screen.
Okay, thank you so much, Kimberly. And
No problem.
greetings and blessed love.
Blessed love, Sister Jamaica, Micah. Rashida Aaron.
Micah is good. You know, just happy to see you, happy to be in the presence of such greatness today. We're gonna
Greetings, brother. Also, Barrington. Bless.
Barrington, yes. So we're gonna spend a moment with Russ Barrington, and he's gonna give us a piece, and then we're gonna just find a little bit about him, and then we're gonna move on to you. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. That's great.
Yeah, man. Just stay with us. Thank you so much for coming again, Russ
My
Barrington.
pleasure.
Yes, I.
Blessed love.
Give
Yeah,
thanks
man.
again.
The light that shines. Tell me about that name, the light.
Okay. Well, it's basically like a manifestation, really. It's like, all right, put it this way. I've been called light by like my mom. Like, I'm a light and a hill that cannot be hidden. Uh, Occasionally I get that out there. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Amway, but I used to go to their meetings and stuff like that. And this young lady always said to me, well, not always, but she said to me, like, that when you walk in the room, it's like you're like a light, just lights up everybody, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, all right, thanks for that. And I believe that there's a light that shines in each and every one of us. Sometimes that light get dimmed by different experiences and so on, but yeah, we all have the potential to shine like the sun, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yes,
I think
thank
light, you actually kind of stuck that onto me because I have on my WhatsApp thingy says, I'm a light that shine, but I didn't really go by that name until in the group. Then you referred to me instead of saying Barrington, you said light. I don't know if you deliberate.
That's what your name came up under in the group.
Right.
I just assumed that that was your poetry name, but you are a light, and I'm going to ask you to just to share a piece so people can, get a piece of that light for us.
Okay. Well, based on that we're on light, I think I probably do something that reflects the same light that we're talking about.
Hmm.
And it's from my book of poetry. It's like an old one. I mean, hopefully in time I can give you something from my newest work. But
Yeah, man, whatever you decide to share, I'm sure it is food for the soul. So we're ready, man. We're hungry.
all right. So all right. So soothing. I am a beacon of light passing through space with time, best friend. We flow together in good and bad weather. Whether the weather is topsy-turvy in the day and cause you to lose your peaceful sleep in the night, or perhaps as you like it, in the tropics on the rock, where everything seems just right. Always there with me from the time I recognize and acknowledge creation or life, and understand that no matter where I go or where I come on this journey of life, life will always be my greatest teacher. I tell no lie. I kid you not. You dot those T's and cross your eyes. Forever and always, my best friend is time. Yeah, time will tell. And yeah, I mentioned that's a very short one, yeah, but because you're on the topic of light, yeah, I'm a beacon of light.
Well, thank you. That's a good start. Yes, that's a very good start, a beacon of light. Right now, honestly, with all of the dark things that are going on in the world, we need light. So yeah, man.
Yes, I.
Please continue to share, continue to write. No matter when that was written, it is very relevant. And I thank you for your piece. What you say, Empress Shida?
Yeah, man. At the light,
Yeah.
I like the works and how far you come to like publishing it and going out because that's just the light have to shine,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's part of it, the
Yes.
process.
Yes.
Right.
Everyone, welcome Lioness Shida. You know,
Hi, everyone.
yes, Lioness Shida. I see that you've been doing some amazing work all over the globe for the
Yeah.
children, for the youth, for Africa, for Jamaica. Can you just tell us a little bit, just a short, little piece, a little taste right now, before you give us a piece of your poetry?
Okay, sure. Well, I'm Lioness Sheeta, otherwise known as birth name Rashida Shaw, yes. But definitely I'm the lioness that's, fierce, and my fierceness come from growing in Jamaica and always wanted a change. So I graduated from college with a criminal justice degree Yes, and after that, Africa was just calling, I was more into my culture, around 19, reading up more, I had my baby, and I still wanted to, go to Africa and, follow that passion that I have to just be in Africa and learn from there and give back. So I did that through a World Teach organization when I went to Africa in 2018 to teach for 1 year. And yes, and it also launched my poetry career because that's when I actually started publishing my poetry. I always was a poet growing up naturally, but I never, saw myself as going out there to do poetry. But because of the mission, I decided, that I need to share it, and I'm sharing it through poetry.
That's amazing. Now, quickly before you segue into a poem, where were you? What country in Africa did you get
Okay,
to?
so I was in Namibia.
Namibia.
Yes, they used to call that Southwest Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And what age group did you work with?
Okay, so I was working in a rural village. Yes, and if you want to find out more about that, you can look. The video was on YouTube, Legendary Lioness. You'll see me teaching in an African village, and I was teaching grade 5, 6, and 7. Those children were, around 11 to 13, but you have like 1 and 2 that were like 20 years old or 19 because of not being going to school because they had other responsibilities like in the village. So, also had to teach those students. So, it was different, multi-level classroom, different language. But, I rose to the challenge, so and I became a trained English teacher to teach foreign language learners English. So it's been an interesting journey, yes, and I want to continue to do it and teach out Africa because this is my way of giving back and to represent for the African youth is very, very important that we Black educators go out there because we know what to feed them, Sometimes the curriculum is very structured and, it is lacking. So we as Black educators, we get to, change the system, and cause a big influence. Yeah, because before, they did not know like a Black girl could call me all the way. Most times, most volunteers are white.
Whoa,
Just,
exactly.
yes. So
I
to see a
applaud.
Black volunteer teacher, it was very different for them. So give
Yeah,
thanks.
I applaud you. We just got a little note from Mama Yaya. She said, "No strength, Sister Shadida. Shida, sorry. Big up, big up. So enough love. Before you do your poem, we want to just welcome Lyrics in the house. Lyrics, thank you so much for joining us. Bless yourself. We are going to speak with you.
Blessings.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining. We are going to speak with you after Lioness Sheila give us a nice little piece, So just give us a moment.
Cool.
Yes, Empress.
Yeah, man.
All right, so I'm gonna just, staying on topic. I'm gonna share with you serving in Africa. All the way from Jamaica, it's a dream come true to give back, even if my efforts seem few. I know it means everything to my students when they learn something, the spark in their eyes, the hope they see in their lives. I'm honored to be a part, to lift their minds and heart. It's a blessing to fulfill this destiny. Try my best to give education of quality to many who have been overlooked, many who haven't been given the patience to learn. Therefore, I'm truly grateful to serve as a global citizen through World Teach for the minds and dreams I've reached. To gain a different perspective can be truly humbling. To see how others live, to see what I can give. I've learned a lot. not just how to live in an African hut, but also how to live a life of humble service. So I give thanks to all who made this achievement, this reality, and achievement of I and I destiny.
Woo!
Thank you. Well,
We give thanks to
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. You know, honestly, I went to Ghana, and that experience that you were talking about, like being in the village, and then your poem, I was actually kind of just zoning out and just remembering the steps that I took being there. It's such an honor, and I'm grateful that any youth, especially a youth who has a child that she has to care for, would think about going to serve other people. And I really, really do commend you. And I hope that more young people will take the initiative and, do something similar to this.
thank you
Because,
so much. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and that is what I want, and that's what I advocate for because we are needed in the motherland,
yes, yeah.
And yeah, I do support those services. So if anyone interested, there's my website www.alliancelove.com. Contact me.
Very nice. Thank you again. Thank you. We'll come back to hear some more about your journey and to share some more poetry. Obviously, lyrics here, patiently waiting. I know lyrics had to go through the eye of a needle to get on today. So, we big you up and I tell you thank you for your energy.
Blessings.
Yeah, man. So, lyrics. Soul
Yes.
cry. Soul cry.
Mm-hmm.
What a powerful picture. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, and I'm telling you, when I saw that book, I was like, whoa, this needs to be up on the forefront. People need to be seeing this. Can you tell us a little bit about A Soul's Cry, and then just give us a little bit of your poetry from there?
All right. Well, Soul Cry for me is a means to get my voice heard. Growing up in the inner city, there's not much channel apart from the music industry to bring across the message that you're not even the message, the experience that you're living, daily experience living in the inner city, right? But it's so fortunate for me that poetry chose me to be the messenger with my work because I speak about the topics in the rawest format I can. I don't really sugarcoat my words. I just, as it comes, put it, you know. And I mean, Soul Cry has reached several places because the feedback has been great.
Okay. So can you share a little bit about Soul Cry, and then what was the inspiration behind Soul Cry?
All right, the major inspiration behind it is that wanted to speak out.
You want to speak?
To let we in the inner city, you're seeing this negative bubble,
Mhm.
right? That everything there is not good, and those who merely escape the inner cities based on the fact that they have a pillar of support, both mother and father. Sometimes you have a single mother, and she do great to get that child to go forward, while some don't have no support. So it's me showing them that yes, I am from the inner city, but I can be different by this is my gift to the world.
Okay.
So I wrote Soul Cry.
Okay. So can you give us a piece of the gift? Gift us with one of your gifts.
All right. So this is called a continued cycle. Twisted, discarded like trash to the pavement. Bullets restore the body to a soul from its vessel. And another ghetto child is left fatherless to continue this vicious cycle.
Oh, exactly.
A hero he once looked up to is no more. No one to teach him right from wrong. It doesn't matter how much he tries. Some mothers just aren't strong. The streets welcomes his child, and its bosom it keeps him close. In his mind, he thinks this is where he belongs. Lacking a sense of direction, he chooses wrong. What he doesn't understand is the part that he walks as an excruciating end. Can't blame his mother for she has tried, but her mind is made up to take revenge on the ones that took his father's life. And the cycle continues like pinning clothes out to dry. While she prays for guidance, shots rung out in the distance. Phone rings, call received, tears roll on her cheeks. She groans as news of her lifeless child came from the phone. A father's gift to his child. That is nothing but a curse. For if he had sticked around, his son might not have ended up in a hearse.
Ooh. All right. As a youth of the ghetto, you know, the gunshots were too familiar, far too familiar a sound. So this poem, what prompted this poem in particular?
A death of a friend.
Can you share a little bit? Is it or
All right. A regular everyday youth growing up, and despite how his dad was known, he had the ambition to go for to be somebody different. But the moment his father's life was snuffed out, it just changed him. Something in him snapped, and the youth just become someone else until he met his untimely demise. You know, and I mean, I've seen so much of it, so much youth who, because of the absence of one father or the absence of a parent of the entire parent system, them just got AWOL, as they don't possess that intrinsic motivation.
okay.
Because I myself, I didn't have both pillars. I just had mother. Daddy's not dead, he's around, but he's just around. Mother was there, always there. And I was somewhat going left, until my mentor who passed away in 2018, Dr. Donna McFarlane, who was the executive director / curator for Liberty Art, Legacy of Marcus Garvey. She found me while I was on the corners, regular day thing, digging out my unmickle and just talking up but smart. And she said, you have much more to offer, because when she first came around, I was so vocal upon that lady, we don't want to sit on the corner and do nothing for you. And money we want.
Sure.
And she said, yes, man, you are the one I want, because you have the drive to take people from one point to another. So I'm here for you. Then you will take everybody with you.
I must commend her. Actually, I spoke with her about a couple of youth programs. So I was a little bit taken aback that she passed away. I spoke with her many years ago. And for mentors like her to see a youth, especially the youth that was the most defiant and saw greatness in him, we must commend that. And we must commend more leaders. And we're asking for more community leaders and members to get involved in the youth them life. Because sometimes you see them do something that is not fitting to the rules and the boundaries, but that's because they have no one to correct them. And on that, I am just, man, I'm gonna run it over to Barrington and just ask Barrington, what is your input in all of this, and what was your home life like? If you can share that. And then if you can go into a poem after that, if that's okay with everyone. Everyone all right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah, first of all, wonderful Lioness Sheeta. She left, but all right, that's wonderful. I like that she is brave enough, to take on that challenge and go all the way over there in Africa. You know what I mean? When people don't think about Africa in that light. You know what I mean? But back to my brethren now, lyrics. Yeah, man, very commendable. Very, very commendable. And we are saying most people still for the journey, because we know it's easier to do wrong. It's easier.
So true.
You know what I mean? Kind of falter. It's easier to pick up certain things and, become a victim or perpetuate the same kind of evil, against your own brother and sister them same way, because sometimes life experience make somebody youth them bitter,
True, man,
so
for real.
If you can learn all these lessons, having even people close to you passed off, and you can learn from these experiences and really still, try the positive part, when it's not like you don't have access to certain things, because I mean, from your chat certain place, you have access to anything when you want access to, especially the things when are beneficial to you or the humanity as a whole, isn't it? So yeah, man, big respect for that, man. Keep on reaching out to all of the youth that we can reach out from early,
Yes.
before, as we said, before them become bitter, isn't it? And for me
Bless and respect,
personally,
brother.
Yeah, man. We have a responsibility. It's our
that's right.
responsibility. Can you
So
imagine if
true.
That's right.
the four of us right now,
Mm.
were to deal with one youth, plant one seed in one youth. Imagine,
Fertile soil of the mind.
you see,
That's
you know,
right.
it is our responsibility. And with that, Barrington, so what was home life like for you? Did you have both parents? Was it,
Okay, yeah, all right. So going forward into that now, my upbringing as a youth is basically shared between both families, because my mother and my father weren't like together, in most of my sensible years. Understand?
Mhm,
So I mean, I was with my mom for a period of time, and then with my father, and I mean family too, because grandmother is there, and I mean auntie
mhm,
and uncle, and so on. So yeah, up to high school, or the ending of high school, that's kind of my way. I mean, here and there, and thing unsettled, but I mean, learning and still being, yeah, productive somewhat. I mean, but I decided that I needed to find a way or make a way, you know, which
mhm,
is not different from what I've been experiencing, being, what should I say, a child of a broken home, like most of us, as they call it. I mean, I don't knock that any at all. I embrace that. I appreciate that so much, and much love to my mother and my father. They're alive and well. I don't know. I think my mom is watching. I don't know if my father is watching. But enough love to my mother and my father and all of my family were actually helped to mold me into, this youth.
give
As
thanks.
well, forward into teenage years now, I kind of step out there on my own, you know what I mean? So it's kind of similar, to here and there. It's kind of similar. So I'm here and there in my teenage years as well, you know what I mean? So I find myself in various communities, even parishes, from Middlesex to sorry, Portmore, things inside of that. Sorry, yeah, and Cornwall, in the west there, Mobile, Hanover, Westmoreland, yeah man, Middlesex.
Yeah,
So
tour
my
one.
journey kind, my journey kind of go like that, bound by the river,
By the river.
bound by the river,
Yeah,
So I can
True,
identify with a
true.
lot of these things, you know what I mean? That's kind of like my upbringing.
yeah.
But as I say,
You
I
sound like
embrace it
a
so much.
country.
Say again?
You sound like you grew up in a country though, more country vibes. Is that,
Yeah,
am I
yeah,
right?
mostly, because
Mhm,
from, as I say, from birth to teenage, I would have probably go to the cities for 3 days,
okay.
because I have family out here. But this country is Manchester, from early years, from birth to mid-teens, and then, as I say, the Montego Bays, the Hanover, Green Island, enough
Mm.
love to everyone from these places. Yabe,
Put in a boat.
Moreland, come up. Yeah, man. Mostly country, but as I say, a product of basically the whole of Jamaica.
That's awesome. When we come to Jamaica, I expect you to give me some tour.
Yeah,
Show
yeah,
me around.
really.
But in the
Yeah, man,
meantime,
and Sheila too. Sheila have a thing a lot.
Sheila,
Yes.
what'd you say about Sheila?
Saying she have that thing locked to. I mean, I think she's doing some tour thing, so we can work out that. We can
Yep.
communicate after and see how that can be
Yeah, well,
organized.
that's something that you can talk about in a moment, Sheila. I would love to hear. I'm sure everyone else would love to hear more about that too. Yo, we have
All right.
some talent among us, You know, wow. I am. Trust me, I am awed by the talent that we have. Not just the poetry, but the things that people are doing behind the scenes, trust
Yeah,
me.
man.
Yeah, man. And people are gonna soon know, that
Yeah.
it's happening. So Barrington, you can share another piece with us, please?
Yes, sir. Right away.
Yes, man.
All right. So this is what? This is written a year ago, basically in July. In July, we're in July now, last year.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of probably can give you an insight as to how I was thinking at that time. You know what I mean? You can probably observe the growth or yeah, something like that. Psychoanalyze me. Anyway,
Or just enjoy it.
what is your objective? What is your objective? Is your objective connected to the intention to let me feel subjected to the subhuman, inhumane treatment permitted and perpetuated by a few who feels there is no one they will have to answer to? Sustaining and maintaining a systematic brain drain, is that your aim? What is your objective? Are you trying to keep me on a path that is rugged and rocky, which might not necessarily be mine, but that's one that was selected, since I claim affiliation to the people who are rejected? Do you make me upset, then calm me down so you can seem like a comforter? Would you make me sick, then medicate me, thus appearing like a savior? Giving a band-aid to put on an open heart surgery, constructing destruction to make a profit from the money you've invested. Just expression to let me think you have compassion when the care you express is way less than the value you put at your new shoe from Payless.
Mm-mm.
What is your objective? Do you take time to know thyself? Have you identified purpose? And are you striving to fulfill purpose while you live? In this far, blazing new path are coming forth with the torch, the button, the light, brightening perspective, impacting, influencing positively by simply being. And stay on mission to manifest your best self. Then again, one can always better their best. So what I'm talking is constant progress, setting standards, raising standards, living, learning, growing, applying what you've learned. Care, share, love. Full joy the process. Live up and speak your truth, Jayot. That's the real way. Tell it to the world, beautiful girl. It's your story. From the sad experiences to the glory. What is your objective? Yeah, that's objective.
Ah.
Ooh, I love that.
I love it.
Love it for real.
Now, what have I done? What have I done? Have I unlocked the door of abundant love and joy? Have I? Have I? Have I unlocked frequencies that such blessings and peace seem to be flowing like a fountain that's ever flowing and never runs dry? Have I? Have I unlocked brain waves that are connected to the source of life from the depths to the heights? Have I? I have. I truly now have joy. I have freed my heart and soul from the grips of hatred and revenge, cleansed and renewed, cut loose from the bandages, chains, and shackles of fear. I have access to wisdom, truth. I serve on a level I wouldn't have imagined. I have risen from the ashes like smoke or like air, refusing to be stopped or trapped. I have found myself again. I can hear my inner voice amidst the confusion and all the night. I have. So I give thanks,
Wow. Very awesome. Now, what state of mind were you in when you wrote that?
No, you see, that's why I was saying earlier that you can psychoanalyze me based on what you
Yeah.
hear.
No,
Because
man,
you're dating.
no analysis. We just wanted to share with the people where that inspiration came from
Right. So it's basically where, I was like, this was written in
last
that
year.
last one was written in October of last year.
Okay.
So it's basically where I was, that's what I'm thinking. Like, this is where I am now, this is
Mhm.
where I ought to be because this is where I am. What I mean, to grow from the roots into the branches, to the fruits, bearing it, and all of that. Yeah. So
Yeah, man.
basically, I was just analyzing then my journey of where I was or where I am, how I've become and where I am.
You're on the third plane.
Yes, I.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Self-analysis is
as you
very
see,
important.
sorry, objective
Sorry.
one now, you see, it's kind of questioning, some people's motive behind doing certain things. So that was kind of a rebellious kind of one, but I kind of strike the balance by still coming back and asking, what is your objective? Are you, basically finding your purpose instead of just going at the system. I mean, I kind of balance it. But as I go forward, chances are that one will be longer. I might, what should I say?
You're right. You're right.
Very good. Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Thank you.
And I have a compliment. I have a poem to complement that poem. Cause
Which
yeah,
one?
man, it name's African Liberation Days.
Okay.
Because we done pass through the war now. Now is the time for us to actually wake into action. So I can read that one for you guys.
Yeah, man, please.
Okay, African
Yeah, man,
Liberation
go ahead.
Days. We've been in survival mode. So long we fail to move, access our true possibilities. Uplifting each other is the way forward, onward. Our days gonna be better days. They might oppress us, depress us. We stay rising from the shackles. Dust the rust off because I'm oil for life. That cocoa butter, that coconut oil, shea butter, and cocoa butter of my melanin shining, my power rising. It's a birthright I've inherited, and there's no depths to where I will be diving, no heights to where I will be flying, accomplishing what must and what will. The rags to riches be our bedtime stories, stories of glory, glory kingdom reign when the hard days have melted with the might of our freedom fighters. So we trample, never again shall we stumble.
Hmm. Same way.
Yes,
Same
I.
way. Love it. So tell
Thank
me about
you.
that piece, Lioness Sheeta.
Yeah, man, this piece is named African Liberation Days, and it's about rising up out of survival mode,
Yeah.
and that is where we've been. And if you travel around and see what colonization did to us, it just had put us in survival mode for so long. We're just hustling, trying to get a piece there, everywhere. We're so, disconnected, and all about no formation.
Mhm.
But those I'm just rising up and showing everybody that them days they're gone. Now
Sure.
is the new world for us to create and
Yeah.
step into our the true potential.
Yes. Yes. Question about your journey in Africa. While you were there, um, what was the most stark difference between Jamaica and Africa that recognized?
Okay, yeah, the desert. Sorry. uh the food.
Tell me about the food. Tell us about the food. What was the food like?
So yeah, to me the food lack as a culture, because to me it got washed down, after the old colonization, because Namibia is a new state. It gained their freedom and was independent in 1990.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I just guess moving from that, it's hard to just find, good food coming from Jamaica that have so much variety.
Mhm.
But where I was along the river and the most vegetatious part, and I was in the village, so that was just heaven for me.
Mhm.
Definitely the wild animals definitely can just be in the village, but also just the type of development too that's different, even though it's a new country, you know, it has developed, super fast, you know, good economy, and it have a lot of promising promising, future out there for the youths, it's just really for us to unlock our possibilities. And that's why I love to go to those places, because the youth sometimes don't see the resources that they have around them.
Right.
They have the resources, but it's just a lack of, just the mindset and knowing how to get it. So so being on the ground and being able to do that was, it was amazing, because you get resources are there. It's just for ones to educate themselves. So I guess that was the big difference,
Mhm.
just, yeah, the environment and also how the people interact.
Yeah.
I felt like, your family, I had a host family, right? And they were just always, very protective of me wherever I go. It's not like in the West, when I just move on my own and I
Mhm.
do what I want on my own. There, I'm just like, I am part of the family, the community is your family, and that's it. That's a big start difference, because in Jamaica, we're more, women are more, independent and move on their own,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, that's one big difference there. The family is everything, and women don't just sacrifice going to traveling or going to school just for the family,
Mhm.
you know.
Did you see a lot of two parent family, or did you see more single parent family there?
Oh, well, it depends the area, but I mostly saw two parent families, because
Mhm.
the family structure is very important,
Mhm.
and it's mostly conservative, and all of that has to do with being, how you're looked upon. For example, like me, I would not want to go back there being a single woman. Because they hold it to another level and you're always looked upon. Yes, so there's some things that a single woman cannot do. So, and if even walking with a guy down the street in Africa, make sure that he's your husband, because the community will be talking.
Or talking.
Yeah,
Okay.
then when
Okay.
we're in the West and it's just like, oh, we're just talking.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the family structure is very strict. If somebody gets somebody pregnant, they want that person to also be married to them.
Of course.
But as I said, it depends certain different class structure. As it goes down the poverty line, you know, there's a lot of things that happen. For example, where I was in the village too, we also have high cases of teenage pregnancy.
Mm. Mm.
That's another story, because our social structures and systems are just so deep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yes, yeah, and yeah, in every culture, for example, also just the way they would think, I guess. Um, yeah, because also they're moving from a certain mindset to, I don't know if you understand, but the mindset will same as how expressive a woman can be.
Yes.
That owes a lot in the social structure,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah, and just how a woman is seen. So that's the big difference, definitely.
Okay. I'd like to talk more about this when we come back to you, just about your experiences, or I mean, and you're welcome to share whatever you want to share.
Thank
This
you.
it's an interview, it's a share, it's a community. So even our other guests, if you want to ask questions of each other, just feel free. Okay, so We're gonna go into just again meeting and greeting with Lyrics, finding out a little bit more about him, and his plans for the future with his poetry. So Lyrics, it's on you right now. You can share a piece with us, and then we can just talk, or however you want to run it. This is your platform right now.
All right, I'm gonna share a piece I wrote a few months back for a young lady. She was doing a SBA, and she wanted a poem on trafficking, human trafficking.
Mm.
Right? So I wrote a piece called The Devil's Trade. And here goes. Taken from home to an unknown abode, forcibly and placed for ransom. Had no choice, no say in the matter. My innocence is taken first by the captor. Mothers weeping, missing posters outlined, have you seen my child? Continuation of tears running for miles. Placed on the internet, auctioned to the highest bidder. Bodies sold and sold, they take a toll. Kept contained under control while methamphetamine keeps the time. Being emotionless, my only truth, treated as less than a being, inhumane and degrading. Younger the victim, easier the prey. By the time I hit my teens, my spirit is cold. Lost my will to fight, wasn't allowed to enjoy my childhood. Crave for a family love, something that has long since died. Never got to know what it is about. A heart and mind have been turned out. The only makeup I wear is fear, lifeless eyes gazing into space. Men of different races taking turns. If I don't please the customer, I don't get to eat. Forced labor without wages. This is hell in so many stages. Traffic are the producer and I am just a cast in this devilish trade.
Yeah, that one they give me chills all over my soul. I must say this is a topic this is a topic that is very close and dear to my heart. Can we talk about it a little bit? Wanna feel?
Yeah, man.
Can talk about it?
Yeah, man.
I know that you said that you wrote this for someone's SBA or help them with it, but why that topic and why those words? Have you?
Well, she was doing her SBA and it was on human trafficking, and she posted on Facebook saying she want who knows any poet. So a friend of mine directed her to me, and she came across. She explained what she wants, and what I did was to put myself in the position of someone being taken. I've watched so many movies that depict human trafficking, and our history is one of human trafficking. Where the females were raped and abused by the captors. So I just took on the entirety of the poem and just let the lines just flow through me. Thus come about, the devil's trade. So the line, as I said, the lines, they just came natural. Given that we're grounded, as I said, with our past being captors, traffickers. We were trafficked. Therefore, no matter how far you are born from the slave history, you are still somewhat smeared by it, based the fact that you are taught your history by whether your close network or by doing your own research, and you're seeing the ills of it. So, yeah.
Which leads me to your views on the treatment of the women in Jamaica. We can't talk about the world at large, but because Jamaica is our home, that's I think you fix your home first. How do we fix what's going on right now in Jamaica where it counts to the women and the young girls? What's been going on with our women and young girls? What do we do? How do we address this?
We need more programs to teach young girls to have more self-pride, to believe more in themselves, that they don't need to be dependent on a male figure per se. Get yourself an education, because whatever you want from that male figure in terms of financial assistance, the nice things, if you have a grounded education, you can acquire all of that. The men would just be You know, I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but we would just be not just an option, but just icing on the cake.
Okay.
You understand? And
It's time to ruffle the feathers. We have to ruffle the feathers in order
true,
to evolve
true,
kind of change. Yeah, man, we have to talk the truth. We
yeah.
have sisters
So you
and
know,
yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
the more females tend to be dependent on men for whatever it may be, the less of their worth they see. Because you know, a man knows say, hey, what, sure, because Susan get 120 grand and that's it for the night.
Mm.
If he's able to give 20, I must give 5. So valuing the value of her, you know, if he's not seeing the value, therefore, in her eyes, she's just an what do you call it? A possession then, because she has no value to him, so he can buy her.
Mm. Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, Lioness?
Yeah, definitely agree. But I think, yeah, it definitely should start from the top and from leaders, because in this society, children, they are distracted by everything in the physical world, you know. And I think when children work so hard and then see their own leaders in this society are so corrupt and
Mm.
so slow to take a stand for justice, it's just like, what does it make sense for me to go through this way and then have to look to them for a job, and if you're not going their way, me probably not dressing a certain way in the office, not thinking a certain way, they really oppress you. So I think it's just for us to get rid of that system oppression, the leader oppression, authoritative people in our community using it to, to just use us. I think that's what we should, take on leaders, not just being morally morally correct and right in society. Because if we look now, just look on the news, it's just crazy that all these I have a poem about that, all the leaders that are being caught, are outstanding people, are rich people being caught in pedophilia and corruption. When more we're going to sit down in that system and think, say, it is us. We are victims of that system. We
Okay.
are victims of that system, and that's why our family is so broken. That's why so our men don't even know how to provide and protect for the woman. Because to me, that's just natural. That's naturally a man supposed to, and naturally a woman in the house nurture and hold her own. You can see it, Jamaican women, so how much boss and managers are there in Jamaica, right? And women too. Where we have women leaders, but what is happening? We still can't get the respect we need in our society. So something is definitely wrong,
Okay.
wrong with
true.
it.
Barrington, can you join in this part of the discussion? Do you have anything to add?
Well, I don't disagree with either. Well, in fact, I agree with
Mm-hmm.
what Briggs and Rashida has said.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not all men that approach things like that, and it's not all female and not all women that
Thank you.
approach things in that particular way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree about the whole leadership thing, but really and truly, we all have a part to play. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, or most times, everyone look out for their own, you know, best interests. So, and this is not to knock any politician or anything, but most times the governments,
Not them, man.
On the fire.
if I should put it to
I have one for
Jamaica,
them, man. I have a
right?
poem for them.
Come on, we have to tell the truth, That's what we're here to do, We're griot, we're the storytellers. We are keep the
Side,
honesty,
right.
you know.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying though, none of these politician, in my view, successive governments, most times you have a few that try, and we can give credit where credit is due. And I don't want to start, identifying anyone. All right, Michael Manley did some great things with farming thing, and I think Edward Siaga came in with the heart trust thing and all of that. But I don't want to
Jimmy is there for them.
you know what I mean? The point is, majority of these governments, not just in Jamaica, but generally, but I can speak to Jamaica because this is where we are.
Right.
The government is like Jamaica is a business, you know what I mean? And the governments, they are depending on who is in power, they are the managers. So it's all about who can run the business the best. So they're running the country to, basically attract investors and to make make Jamaica a better place for business, make it a better place for outsiders viewing, so they can come in and take a piece of the pie, of paradise, so to speak. And the risk is the natural resources, what we have, and the people. But the people are exploited consistently. You know what I mean? And it's
That's the problem.
That is the problem, a major thing.
And the people feel it, so them exploit each other and hurt each other.
Right. And I wanted to add, because a lot of times, women, especially, women from lower income areas are ostracized. Think about it. Think about a mother, a woman with little education, right? She have her youth very young, and then she have another youth. The father is not there, and she has to sustain herself there. She has little education. Now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't get up and try things for herself. I'm just saying, in a society, I have a niece right now. My niece, she's almost 30. She's pregnant again, and she was working a job. With Corona now, everything stopped. Who does she have to go to when the father is not available or responsible? Who does a woman have to turn to? What kind of system do we have in place? I'm not saying that we're supposed to take care of other people's children, but we're supposed to take care of each other. At least there's supposed to be something in place,
Exactly.
some kind of programs in place. And we don't value our women. We don't.
Right. So
I mean, we
I was coming to that. I don't mean to interrupt you.
come on,
Teresa.
man. We're a conversation we have, man. Talk with talk.
Sharing.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. So I'm saying I was coming to that. I was coming to that. Basically, I'm saying it's a collective way we have to do it. So is the family, is the community, and then the broader Jamaica. Because if you can balance it within the family, then you're playing a role in a community. And if you're playing that role as a community, then you're also playing a role in the parish and by extension the country.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But you see, collective security and those kind of thinking and doing things is a threat to the status quo. So you won't find that those kind of what should I say, programs or way of doing things is being promoted or supported widely, especially by those who it will hurt. You know what I mean? Right. So when we are awakened to that reality, I mean, we now have a greater responsibility to play a role as individuals, as daughters, as sons, as brothers, as fathers of tomorrow. You know what I mean? And as students of life, same way, because we gotta learn. And what we know now, we didn't know that yesterday or last week or last year. You know what I mean? But what we're talking about here is not like a rocket science. You know what I mean? A lot of people talk about these things regular, but I think this platform is a way of doing something, of reaching out, of hoping to kind of encourage ones to stay firm on the journey and to treat our children like we would want to be treated, where we in that position. And the elders and like
A village life.
Yeah. Yes.
Because naturally that is what we're earning for now.
Boy, I miss
right?
the village system.
It's
Huh?
true.
Got a little piece of that village system.
Yeah, that's the only way I think. I have a village
Yeah, man.
mindset, and that's
The
if you
village
look on my
system,
website, that's the only way we
the
will
village system
really
used to
rise.
work. It was very, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I got a
And
little piece of it,
You see,
okay,
all right. You see, if we can, how should I put this now? If we can nurture, if we can nurture the mothers of tomorrow,
Yes.
even the mothers of today, if we can show some love to our mothers and our sisters, it might sound a waste, but may I tell you the truth from my perspective. If we can protect our women and our sisters and kind of help to put them, or help to give them some strength and that positive part, then we should be in a better place in time to come. Because them say if you educate a woman, you educate a nation.
That's right.
true.
And you
facts.
see, yeah, you see, with that note, it's kind of not a segue, but I just jump in a one quick one and jump out.
Jump in it, man. Jump in it. But I do want to make sure that we're using this platform,
Mhm.
so to effect and affect change. Our women, our girls, I mean, our boys are in danger, our children are in danger. But let me tell you something. If there was a case about 7 years ago where a pastor raped a 13-year-old girl, and when I was listening to an interview with her and her mother recently, and I'm telling you, Jamaicans, we have to stop. Someone can't say they were abused, neglected, raped, molested, and we point the finger at them. You understand? And this is what I've seen in our society, that someone is hurt, someone is in need, and we make fun. There's no
Sorry. So what the mother say? I missed that. What happened with the mother?
Oh, the young lady was raped. Her mother was in the United States, and the pastor raped her, and it was a big news in St. Thomas. And the mother came home, and they are now in the witness protection, uh, whatever witness protection thing. And it's been 7 years, and the pastor has not been brought to any kind of trial. He has not paid. And the young lady and her mother, they're running for their lives because people are saying a wicked, she shouldn't say nothing, and this is like the temperature of Jamaica.
Exactly, it is.
Don't tell.
That,
We are gonna
that
bust
is
it open.
Jamaica.
We are bust it open
That
because
is Jamaica. That is the fact, and that is the truth, yo. If you even go down to the other level, if you talk about what the woman them mind and what them get, that is just part of it. But
exactly.
the woman them now receive the protection. Not for the woman them who are asked for them things. They through them mind already done out. Some
Yes.
went from when them are 13, 10. Some big person molest them, take advantage of them, manipulate them. So what we have in a society, we have a whole heap of broken and healing people, man. Sometimes you listen to some people's story, you don't want to listen to them story.
Yes.
Yeah. Even
Yes.
over the break, and these are one can just look it up. These statistics is what I have. Like the statistics are very high, and a lot of them not reported. So by around, they would say around 70% or so of women in Jamaica are molested by the time they even reach 16.
So check
Like,
them facts there. Check them facts there. So imagine as a little young lady, a little girl, someone that you're entrusted with. And a lot of times it is family members. A lot of times it's community members, leaders. And these little girls, they're constantly abused, constantly being broken. And then, I hear some of her reggae songs. She broke out by the time she reached 9. She broke out by the time she reached 10. Why did that happen? How does that happen? And how do we sing about that?
Yeah. No,
And
no, like no, it's the mentality, because someone told sorry.
no man, I talk
No,
real
it's
talk.
no, it's the mentality, because the girls are also always make it seem like we're not the victims though. Because someone told me when I just had my daughter, a screwed up man look on me. There was a discussion about young girls wanting big man. And he look on me and say, make sure my little daughter don't want no big man. Yes. So you have men out there what think say little girls want big man. And that is fine. And because of that, they give them all the go ahead.
Yeah.
So
So
them are the real things we must address.
we have to address it. Barrington, I know, that kind of got a little heavy, but the truth is the truth, and we have a forum to speak, and we have a responsibility. I go to the schools. I've gone to about 400 schools around the island of Jamaica, and I'm telling you, because of my experience with youth all over the world, I can tell you when a child has been touched. I can tell, and most of the children, most of the places that I've gone
Them
is
force right.
primary school. You can tell the children that have been exposed to things that they shouldn't have been, and it is our duty. It
To
is
protect them.
to protect them. Anyways, we're
Yeah,
cut.
definitely, but on protecting them, I just wanted to share with you that on my website you will see I do have a mentorship program.
Mhm.
Yes, just to send out that good vibe, and it's also feeding off from my academy, my online academy and school, where we just want to uplift the youths and share the knowledge and the skills and the mentorship. So we bond as a village and a family. So you can also see that on my website, lionesslove.com/member mentorship.
Say it again, please.
lionesslove.com/mentorship.
Okay, thank you. So please check out Lioness Sheeta's work, her mentorship, her travel, her journey at Lioness Sheeta's mentorship program at lionnesslove.com/mentorship. Come on, y'all. Let's support. Let's support. All right, so we'll get back into the poetry because people are like, hey, that kind of got a little heavy. So Barrington, lighten up the thing now. Give us some light now.
Oh, all right. I was speaking of the feminine energy, right? I was speaking of the female, the women. Even the little one, isn't me? But woman, she's an exemplary woman, a caring and sharing woman. She loves for the sake of loving. What a woman. Her love is without ulterior motives. Her love is without ulterior motives. It's not contrary. Yes, her love is so real. A love that is visible, tangible, touchable. A love that all can feel. Like the love of the Almighty. Some people seem to have a heart of stone or one of steel. Truth is, her, this woman's love is like the fresh air you breathe as you rise and take a walk in the misty morning breeze. Her love is like love a mother and a father should have for their child. Unchanging, unceasing, undying love. Pure love. Sure. Still, the full has never been told. Her love is tested and purified. Came out like gold. What a woman. Oh, what a soul. If you are familiar with Maya Angelou's words, choose one that describe her for yourself, if you like. For me, I say she's a rainbow in some other people's cloud. Phenomenal woman. That's her. Love her so much. And that is for woman, all our female them man, all our woman them, our mother them, our sister them, our little
Yeah,
daughter,
man.
all of them. But that's a brother them, boy. As me I said, I want to have a female them, you see me?
Yes.
Love her so
View.
much. every woman who play a great role in my life, I appreciate because now I'm not feminine in any way, but me I say me come have that compassionate spirit to be, loving and caring and nurturing. I come find that within myself. You know what I mean? We can come balance things certain way without being soft, without out in that warrior fire. I can still have compassion and to, share love and spread love truly from the heart. And yeah, man, I really love, love.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Love it.
Me fully embrace the one too, you know. Love to hear more about the love between, our male and female gender, the masculine and feminine. We
Because the
want to
balance,
My
hear.
love for him go left,
Yeah? Say it again?
I was saying because the balance is important.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But the balance is very important. You know what I mean? The man them important because of them, kind of like the backbone help fix set things, but no home is really completed without a woman. I mean, so all of the women them will stand up strong as single mothers, as wives, as girlfriend, as not careful. No, as that's right. Yeah.
Big up all the women.
True.
Big up all the women. Yeah, man. Female
Give
energy.
every
thanks.
time.
Yeah, man. So because lyrics has been kind of quiet a little bit, we're just gonna ask him to, you know,
Man.
give us a piece, talk about it if you want to. If not, just share and we can go and talk afterwards.
Well, this one came from a conversation I had a few days ago, right?
Mhm.
And just one line strike through me when the person asked me, "What are we teaching?" Right? We were just having a conversation about the way the youths are going and how many of them are being incarcerated for petty reasons because of no direction. And then when them come out, what happens to them after that? And I just encapsulated the thought and wrote a small piece I call Fragments of an Untold Story. So how do we reintegrate the disenfranchised into society? Wayward youths committing petty crimes, graduating to hardened criminals, just for a hype or a piece of the limelight. Everybody active like these busy signals, yet sensible communication isn't transferred. Are we blind to what's happening? We take the seriousness out of everything. Belly full of laughter, playing it for a joke. You won't see the fun when the curtains come down. It will be too late when your back's against the rope. Bewilderment in the eyes, you have lost hope. Thinking back on your past transgressions, how do you cope? Is there no future for the next generation? What lessons are we teaching? Where is the game plan? No more pride in self, walking bodies without brains. Dignity has walked through the door. Marcus Garvey turns in his grave, wondering if this was what he fought for. Nations against nations, pitted against their neighbors, race against race, people still remain a slave to the system, mentally under control. Physically, we are broken and our spirits in a war zone. This is just a part of it. The rest of the story is untold.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, when you mention Marcus Garvey,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah, man. From long time Marcus Garvey, I tell me certain things. Can you tell us a little bit about that poem and why you share? You said that someone made us a line and you decided to write
Yeah,
about.
as I said, we were having a conversation, and for me, growing up, off my turbulent years began, you know, um, before high school. But when I got to high school, because when I left, when I did GSAT for the last year, it was uh, no, it's not the last year. The first year was initiated. I did it. I went to Kingston College, but that was short-lived. And then everything began to spiral down from there for me. Went to place of safety. I went to juvenile, you know. So my experiences have taught me a lot. And then finding myself with Miss McFarlane, she was the center to my change. There were other instrumental figures, but she was the main center because she exposed me to more works of Garvey and the Pan Africanism, and it sort of taught me more about myself and my purpose and the direction I should take myself. So talking about the change and uplifting youth is something that I'm passionate about, because if it weren't for her, you know, this wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't be here amongst you guys. You know, I would be at the boneyard. You know, I'll be at the boneyard, sad to say, because so many youths who didn't get an opportunity to actually find themselves end up at the boneyard. You know, we all go there, but some are just too quick. You know, we're going there without your purpose and all of that. So we're just having a conversation. I said, Xavier, yo, you're a smart youth and the things you do, people need to hear more, yo. But how you gonna reach to the youths then? I said I'm staying right where I'm at, reach to the youths, because I'm gonna keep around them. If we even have $40 million tomorrow, we still have come around them. Still have come around them, because I'm gonna make them know, so this is the channel I took to get here, and you can take this channel as well without being a part of the systematic pressure or the oppression that is there against you. Because the only way to fight back the system is to speak out, you know.
Yes.
Speak out and face the system directly. Now, say if you go shoot up the system, people them, but speak out, because someone in there might have a change of heart and rally on your side to help the others forward. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. You make me feel like a proud big sister, honestly. You know, no, really, and I'm saying this with my soul. I'm not go sugarcoat or go around and thing. You know, a youth coming from the inner city, like you said, you know, broken. Of course, we can't hear say you're brilliant, you know, passing the GSAT and going to JC and thing. But to come
KC.
back, huh? It was JC.
KC, Kingston College.
Oh, KC.
Kingston College.
Sorry, Casey. Sorry. You know, being able to get that kind of opportunity, right? Falling and coming back and bouncing back. Trust me, man. It takes more courage to stand up when you are falling than to stay there. And so your story is one that I would love for more inner city youth to hear, so they know that, look, today might look bleak, but that doesn't say that tomorrow can't be sunny. And I commend you, for real. I commend you for picking up the pieces and taking it to the next level. We need more youth like you, you know? So again, thank you. Thank you. Now, sister, you've been kind of quiet for a moment. What do you think about all of these shit? That's what's going on. What do you think about this program and this platform right now?
Yeah, I'm listening, and it's good because all of us is here from different perspective, you know. And as lyrics, you know, lyrics is a freedom fighter for the youths in the ghetto, you know, a lyrical freedom fighter, you know. That's how I see it, you know. So continue doing the powerful works, you know, don't stop, because they must hear it from that side. Because right now all them see is the fast life, you know. But we must send out our own information, you know, so that at least them have something for them consciousness connect to with. So yeah, that's how I see it. That's very important, and you know that's why I launched a Go Back to Namibia series.
Okay.
You know, after all of this, I've been going on in America, you know, with the Black Lives Matter. Not that it's anything new, but you know, I just wanted to let my people know that, you know, they don't have to stay in the West, you know. They don't have to stay in the West, you know. We have our home, we have our birthright, our natural birthright, you know. And I did talk about birthright. I did a poem called Birthright. Don't know if you'd like to hear it.
Please,
Go ahead, man.
Whatever your move to share, please share.
Yeah, man, because it's just talking about that, say, you know, we have other choices, you know. Babylon make us think that, you know, the Matrix is it. And I need our people to know that the matrix is not it. We need to build our own system because for them system it crash, that gone. So we need to stand on something. What we're gonna stand on, right? All right. So let me go. Birthright. In pursuit of happiness, we destroy the world. We destroy our souls. If only we knew to just be happy and free. The system broken. The alarm done sound. And a false alarm. This is not a drill. Rise up to your will. See, the nations must wake up. The pedophile state burning like the London Bridge. Lava spill. We keep the flames churning, chanting unconcerning. Their social experiments won't dictate. I meditate. I know I universal right. I right to repatriate. See them see we a celebrate our return. Them think them can lock we up and put on the chains. Give us birth certificate without my land. You think I forget? Let me slow it down. Cause a deja vu. See we eat, we ital, and have we seeds them, but them disqualify away to slave in a system that choose when to hire and fire away. The sacrifices we make are in vain if it's not for true wealth and self-reliancy. Talking about wealth, freedom I try to control with health, cause our health is our wealth. And if we leave them to control our rights, then when will we fight? Let's use our might to teach our youth one cocoa full basket. Let's practice group economics, reclaim our richness, our identity, languages through our businesses, partnering to build a system where future generations won't fall victim. Leaders, I hope you're listening. Stop taxing me for live when there is no guarantee to any safety. In a Babylon, it's very risky. Survival of the nomads. Yo, we are move frisky.
Damn, so goddess. Damn, so love it, love it, love
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, man, I just did that one day, I just do it, finish over,
Yeah, man.
Shooting.
Claim we are claim we land. When you're there Africa, I mean, no, some people going back to Africa now. Because a lot of us don't have the experience, and for what we see, Africa not nice. You understand? But when you went to Africa, tell me about little bit of the fruits. You see any fruits?
That was my dream place. But where I told you I was in Namibia, the desert.
Oh,
So there
God.
was some desert fruits though.
Like
You
what?
don't want some desert foods, go on YouTube, subscribe, come and share all the culture, the food in
Right?
Namibia, right?
Yeah.
But definitely it did have something what them called monkey orange. The villagers don't like it because them things says like the colonizers before gave it that name, orange, but can't remember what name, but it's a dry fruit. A lot of these are dry fruits. But inside sometimes liquidy. It's just different fruits. Sometimes it's like a nuts. Sometimes them dry but them sweet. Fruit not definitely not tropical fruits.
Ah,
Not tropical fruits. Because
interesting.
for example, I should share this. For example, like one time I bought a pineapple and I brought it to work and I'm in there with my colleagues in the staff room. And not one of my colleagues have ever had a pineapple.
Wow.
You end up there to go buy some more.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Yes, I have to cut it. Some of them is like, nah, because it just weird to them, it's foreign to them.
Yeah.
But wow, that was interesting because pineapple was foreign to them,
Oh, wow.
because it's just desert fruits there. So, it's different. The fruits sometimes, it's different.
Bro, thank you for
Sorry, what else did he ask me? He asked me something else?
Well, just we have to ask about your journey, and I was asking about the fruits and the what you saw that was different, the food. I know you mentioned the food as well. So we're gonna chalk it up to this was desert food, totally different from what we're used to doing.
Definitely. But it's just dry. But you know, a lot of times I just went into the supermarket and buy food. You know, to me, yeah, Namibia still needs to be black owned, but you know, it's where you know you as a black person can be powerful. You know, is you just you know everything is done broken for us. You know, them system done broken. It's just for us to see that we have millions of opportunities to create our own and make sure the generation coming is there. But like so places like Namibia, it's like we for step in and lead into that because you know you have a lot of foreigners that know those places before. Because when I was going there, it was my first time hearing it, and it's a small airport, but you know you have Germans and a lot of Europeans and Asians people that have been going into those continents, you know, just sucking it out when when we need to go into those parts and really lift it. So, you know, we have pride. That's what lacking, you know, yo, just we putting into ourselves. You know, when we start putting and invest in ourselves than taking out and letting other people come and take out, then it definitely gonna change, you know. And yeah, it's easy, you know. Well, some people make it sound like say it's a rocket science. But what hard for put into ourselves, you know, we put into my people every day. As you hear the poem, practice group economics. I support my people so them can come back and support me. Come back and teach me youth. Me teach them youth. Them give me a strength for my YouTube. You know. Who say we have them money and that hold us into slavery because we all have our own talents and skills. We don't need them cash, but you know.
From a barter and trade system. You know what I mean? So like you say, you know, you deal with the youth them, right? You do the homeschooling. So maybe we would have come now, come cook. You understand? And that's how we're supposed to live. There is going to be a time when the currency is no longer available to us. What we are gonna do? Oh, we are gonna do it. We have to get back to the barter and trade.
Definitely.
Right. So we have about another half hour left. So I just want to go around and do another round of poetry. But before I do that, I want to ask about the music. What's going on with the music? I like dance. I like dance. I love to dance. What is going on in the dance hall right now? In your opinion, Lioness Rashida.
Them say dancehall lost the culture. Come even I talk to boy if a dancehall artist and them say, you know, it lost it, but you know, it lost it because the dancehall artists survived to them hear the radio station want play. And that's how we sell out our own, you know, because we're gonna sell out to our people want hear, you know. Even what I am saying, you know, more time it would have better for me to say, yeah, independently in my skin out and do whatever I want, you know. I would have get more views for that. So I dancehall is in that rough stage now where it just I get trending views, you know, not views where it's rootical. And yeah, some people say what roots in a dancehall, but you know, as I lie, I know some go through the journey, you know, Rasta and then, you know, but now I have high respect for the dancehall because dancehall it feed enough youths. I know what enough of them dancers there, what them enough of them entertainers there, woman then in the ghetto, what them would I do without dancehall? That's dancehall system. There's a different level of group economics. This year me find out about round robin. What? Them have some system in a dance hall. What help the ghetto people survive? You know, it's just the education when yes, them get what them need to get. It's just that it's the management of it's just them need to be educated in managing them resources and what them can get. Cause we need to lift them up. More time we look upon them in our society and say, them nasty and na, but around the world in a more liberated minds, that's the coolest thing ever. People want to run, come tour. People pay thousands of dollars just to stand up in a dance hall and we're gonna degrade our own for that. you know, when I eat them, use and feed them community. It's just that at the same time, we have to look upon, is it degrading our community? Yeah, I know that is the big conversation, but we need to see that there's pros and cons to it. And let's try uplift the pros more so that we can,
Can I
get rid
interject?
of the cons more,
Of course. You can jump in lyrics. The
All
question,
right.
you heard the
I
question.
go to,
We're talking about the influence of dancehall and where it is going right now. You know,
all
where the
right.
mass
All
dancehall.
right. To be honest, let's put it this way. You see the gatekeepers of the dancehall organization, because it's an organization, if you look at it that way.
Right.
Some of the songs that some of these youths who are participating into the dancehall structure, they want to do good songs, but they're not recognized for the good songs. The bigger ones, as I said, the gatekeepers, yo brother, that the people don't want to hear that. That not gonna work.
Yeah, sorry,
Prime
you'll be
example.
surprised how much good songs them have, but them have to let go them slack songs.
Prime example, Massacre. When Massacre start out, majority of his songs are telling you, yo, bust head and murder that and this and that. But listen to his last set of songs for the past 2 years. They are more motivated. They're more inspirational because I'm tell you say, one of the songs he use youth, like what he said, F them history, because we are not slave. We're king in our earth. Right? And if you look how the video was depicted, it was depicted as slave sort of setting. And when he spoke those uplifting words to the rest of them just capture the last and thing and step out, triumphant.
Love that video.
And there's many songs that he sings.
What is that video?
Huh?
What is that video? Massacre?
It's called King in our Earth. Massacre, King in our Earth.
King in our Earth.
King in our Earth. So, I mean, some of the youths, what they have to do is sing these songs to get in. After they get in and secure a foundation for themselves, get the following for themselves, that they can deviate to sing what they want to sing to build. Because I highly respect Massacre. At first, I used to say, yo, that you're not going nowhere. But when I see he flip the script around and the type of songs he's singing, trust me, I have to take my hats off to him.
All right, so that gives me a different view and perspective, because honestly, if me can't play music when my daughter can't listen to, me don't want to hear it. And from, I heard a mixtape the other day, and trust me, I'm gonna have to turn it off quickly because even as me, as a grown-up, certain things I don't even allow into my vibe. You understand? Because I want to be vibing at a higher level. I want to give the people them. You see, when me put my words out there, the whole family should be able to benefit from it. So I know there's dance, and I mean everything has a place, right? So what me I say now is, how is it that we can take dancehall? Because remember growing up in the 70s where dancehall was, people in the dancing to music, whether it was culturally based or not, but now we find out that the dancehall, the whole vibe of the dancehall changed to some kind of living, like like how the hip hop had its own liberty, the breakdancing and stuff. There's a whole genre of living with the dance, right? And a lot of it is very strange to me as an African person, as an African woman, as a woman with African ideals, the bleaching, the bunch and bunch of tattoos and and I don't look down on it. I know that there's a place for it. And that's what I'm saying. How is it that now we can invite this kind of liberty and these kinds of lyrics into our home and our children are hearing it? You're saying, no, him just a come in so him can get a foot in and then I'm going to flip the script. You already came in and said you're going to bust 20 head. That now going to change. You understand? How then are we supposed to hold these esteem when them come in and say one thing. May I hear enough things about girls that do things with man and them things in them throat and all them things there. Things that I would not want my daughter to gravitate towards. How do we say, all right, them just a look at boss and eventually them will change them ways?
All right. What has happened is that with most of the dancehall songs now, we have been somewhat copycatting the American culture. Because the American culture, in American culture, the sexuality is so diverse that everything is acceptable there.
Right.
While at home in Jamaica, not everything is acceptable. Slowly, some of the generations of musicians, dancehall musicians, have made that become a staple figure in the people's mind. Therefore, it is seen acceptable. Where you would have females doing small little TikTok videos to say, well, yo, I like when a man do that and push it way down the sun. So it's the copycatting. We took the negative, more negative from the hip hop culture than the positive. Because I, for one, I am a heavy listener of rap music. But the kind of rap music I listen to has to be telling me where you're from and where you're trying to get to and what you're trying to do.
I agree.
The voices that I listen to are ranging back from as far as the 90s, which was Tupac. Now to the forefront, you have J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, you have Joyner Lucas, you have this young kid who is of a you call it interracial parenting. His mother's white and his father's black. He calls himself Logic. But when you listen to Logic's music, he's telling you that, listen, he doesn't see himself as a white man. He sees himself as a black man. He's telling you, though my skin is white as snow, I'm black as the darkened sky. And when you listen to the message he pushed through, because he was very underrated before he became mainstream, he was underground. And I was listening from then, and I fell in love with his messages. He kept fighting for his acceptance to say, listen, I am a man regardless of what color I portray. And, so it has to do with, like I said, the wrong elements are being taken and portrayed. But with the system that is already there, the system rather to have more negatives to lead people astray than to direct them on the right path.
Right.
So what we need to do is really find the center root back in a person for him to see that his inner life is more of the positive as it is to the negative. Because there's always a balance, as Barrington said earlier when we look on the aspect of man and woman. But one should always have a little bit more high tempo than the other, which should be the positive.
Right.
Because if I was still, like I said earlier, if I was still captivated by the negatives, I'll be at the boneyard. I would not be having this discussion, sharing my poetry. Right. And it took me a while to get to this point. But people are reachable, but it's how we are going to reach them. We have to go to them to where they are. We say in the music over the years, sometimes by the time the message gets them, if it's being sent out subliminally, its path has changed and they pick up on the wrong signals.
Okay, but I have a question. Is Chronic's dancehall? Is Protege dancehall? Because when we say dancehall, right? The first thing that we do is
they are not.
But they are
not. They are. They sing. They will sing similar music to the dancehall.
Hold on, Barrington. Just give lyrics a moment.
They will sing similar. In terms of how the writing process and how they deliver, it might seem dancehallish, but they are the new era of what reggae is. They call themselves roots reggae, but they are off, let's say, Bob Marley's plateau and the many other great reggae musicians before them.
Okay, I'm from a little bit of a little era, I think a generation before you. So when I was growing up, we had, of course, the culture music, and the culture music was also dancehall music. It was just the music that was played in the dancehall. in the halls, people would go and dance, right? So when I play dancehall music, because I play music as well. When I play dancehall, I gravitate towards chronics and protege and ones and ones, because the music are music, or music that essentially can be danced to. That is my impression of dancehall. You got place, you play music and people dance in that place. You understand? And it's now become something that's completely different. I wouldn't call it dancehall anymore. I would call it, bedroom music, or, sexual music, because it's on a totally different genre. It's in a totally different place than where the dancehall started. I'm just saying, just a little history of the dancehall,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
is,
I, I,
I said
yeah, and sorry.
dancehall is ruled by the culture people, the
Yeah,
culture.
that's the complaint in the dancehall for real, but I mean, yeah, but that's the complaint in the whole society. That's why we're super or highly. Everything is so super sexualized, and then that gets the old social problems, not knowing social distancing, in when children even molesting each other, touching each other is what them say, and what adults do to them, or what them experience through the music. Because I'll be like, I was in this area in the ghetto, south side, right? And the children are there on the road, and the children were there and playing some raw music, raw, raw, raw. And it's just like, it's like, I listen to the children, them just hear it every day in them ears. We need to say, that's a form of mental abuse we're doing to our youths in Jamaica. Cause we just force ripen them minds and everything from even then. And the mind it starts at force ripe the mind till when they manifest it in the physical form. So we have to do better.
Right. I completely agree. And with that, I'm just going to ask Ras Barrington to come in and, just give away your views, and then we're going to do a round of poetry. And then we're going to also ask Kimberly, who's in the background working so hard, just to grace us with her presence as well. Okay. So Barrington, what is your views on the music, the direction that the dance hall is going, and how can we, you know, make a difference? How can we be a part of the solution? Can we?
Okay, I can. All right, and I'm saying I can like chronic song there because I mean still you, it's about scan. Anyway, I'm gonna try and make it like short because realize time is up on us now, right?
Mhm.
But first of all, I must say give thanks to some of the names that you mentioned. You know, Shanine, no respect to Shanine. There's I would say, but based on time, I cannot go there right now. But
Mhm.
enough love and respect for John 9. The same protege, Jesse Royal, Chronics, Kabaka Pyramid. I mean, Dre Island, that's more of a you would want the people would go on to call them reggae artists, even though they're artists, you know what I mean? And they do reggae music and they will do other music from time to time as well. But you're referring specifically to the dancer.
Right.
No, I'm not just gonna go and bash the dancer like that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, a lot of us used to glorify those same kind of music at one point in time. You know what I mean? There was a point in time when we used to, yeah, you know what I mean? The Bounty Killer, hard hitting things, them are, another artist. And in reference to what Reggie said earlier, said some of the times, the artists, them, a single tune and they're not being heard. And as soon as them say something different, like it's trending, it's a big thing. Bounty Killer, him did I say, Bounty Killer say, him did I say, all right, I can't remember, I can't quote him, but he was saying a lot of good things before and he wasn't getting a break. Him say, cop watch that. Remember me tell you no that and
Gotta take off. Uh-huh.
Jamaican society, Jamaican community, we have a gun. I don't know if we go and call it gun culture or whatever, But based on how we kind of, maybe from the 70s to 80s, things kind of change certain way. And we have a rebellious nature from morning. Understand? And most of we are products of our environment and our communities and that our experiences and circumstances and all that. And many a times, some of these people who are singing this, it's not like maybe they're even thinking that, this is what I need to do to get my break. It's just that this is their experience. This is actually their life. You know what I mean? This is their
True.
real, what they're
Yeah, man.
experiencing. This is what they're seeing or experiencing personally. Some of the times, it's important now to try and, you know, find a balance and all of that. Put some social program, have some outreach programs, kind of change the whole dynamics of all of that. I mean, because at the end of the day, some of them same youth will come forward, come leaders. You understand? So I think it's important to acknowledge that, dancehall is still a part of our thing, but we not just say go on you because say you have to eat a food and thing and because at the end of the day, some of the times, by the time you find yourself and decide, say, oh, say, no, man, I go start balancing. Some of the time, you turn 100 set of man and a gunman already and
That,
one set of, girl in a different thing. Mash up
that,
their minds and think totally different. And for them think, you must can change back like yours because you have an opportunity now to dip on a different. Some of them become a
Facts,
victim.
bro. Facts.
yeah, man. I completely agree with that.
But yeah,
You know,
or become a perpetuator
That's
of,
facts, bro.
yeah, man. You know what you said, Barrington.
yeah.
I know a lot of Rasta ones that in the 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of people started treading Rastafari. You know why? Because of Sizzler. The message that Sizzler came out with. Enough of my Yankee friend and my Black American friends themselves, blow, listen to this guy. And started
Mm-hmm.
researching more Rastafari. I started treading. So right now, enough of them still alive a good liberty based on what they learned from the dancer. So what me I say is, all right,
Okay.
it's about the lyrics, you know. It's about the lyrics that we put on rhythm. We have some tough
Message
rhythm. I
music.
hear my king did a piece on one a cartel rhythm. And when you hear the rhythm, or him backs it up, you that thing say blow wow, it's in the same category. But him lyrics up yasso, where anybody, all my grandmother can hear the lyrics them and dance to. So what I am saying is we have a responsibility. If we are given a gift and such a gift that we can affect millions of people, well, even one person, we have a responsibility to make sure that what we're doing is planting a positive seed. So yeah, it might be about a youth have a talent and him have a way for deliver. But can't he tell us about his life? Can't you lyrics tell us about your life in the ghetto in such a way where it can be uplifting to someone?
How
Does it
you
have
manage to
to be done?
overcome? Manage to overcome. How you manage to stay away from it.
It,
Instead of doing that, how I manage to do this and I'm still here and this is the best thing for you. At the end of the day, that will go there. I mean, they can put things together. I mean, as I say, I'm not trying to be the perfect person. You know what I mean? Because I say I have experiences and I know that we are products of our environments, and sometimes they have to speak, what they are going through or their experiences. But you see, the standard. All right, quick points and cut it. Where where before producers would actually listen to what you're saying and say, "No man, come back next time, man." And, no man, no, we are going with that. No, not to my studio and stuff like that. Now, you know, more people have access to technology and different things, so you can be saying, you know what I mean, some things where shouldn't be palatable to the ear, not even yours, not you
Mm,
shouldn't even repeating that to
true.
yours, your who own hearing, because that will affect you as a person. But that is being, what I mean, marketed and promoted and endorsed. You know what I mean? So give thanks to a Queen Elise Kelly. Much love, Dr. Bradwa, Kabu. I mean, as I say, everyone that is playing a role from where they are. You know,
mhm.
enough love to Enough love to you, Jamaica.
Yes.
Kimberly, lyrics playing a role from where you are. See, enough love to everyone that is tuning in, because if you are here on this platform watching right now, that means you make a conscious effort to be doing this or to be listening to this as opposed to doing something else. So much love to you and all the best to you, and just keeping on positive chat and influencing or affecting ones in a positive as you learn and
Thank
as
you.
like
For real.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I mean, and I thank everyone for your contribution, for your input. At 2 hours, we can't believe it, so quick 2 hours go by because and I was
Tell
kind of
you, man.
but I am so thankful for all your thoughts and your views and your poetry. I do want to invite Kimberly to just to say something, and then we're just gonna close out with a round of poetry. So just get something together for us, everyone. One of your pieces that you want everyone to have for the rest of the week. Okay. So Kimberly, what did you think about the discussion and this Sunday?
I've been sitting in the background, snapping my fingers, and all for it. The conversation and the discussion has been wonderful. As it pertains to dance hall, I think one of the things that, especially when we're talking about things in society that are propelled by capitalism, the bottom line is always the dollar. So whatever is going to sell is what is most promoted. And unfortunately, artists are locked into this system that requires that they produce things that are going to sell. Drama sells, murder sells, the sexuality, sensuality sells, negativity sells, and it winds up, for some artists, I believe it winds up being a struggle between holding true to their character and their core values and being able to make a dollar. Because if this is the way that I earn my living, and you're telling me that if I produce this work, you're not going to sell it for me, then you're putting me in a bind where I have to compromise what I believe my voice is supposed to sound like in order to be able to just live and survive. And I don't think a lot of times we think about it from that angle. We assume that what the artists are putting out is actually what they want to put out. And a lot of times it's not. They have to do what they have to do in order to be able to survive and support their families and take care of themselves. So anything that is driven by capitalism, we have to keep in mind that the bottom line is not necessarily about morality or about ethics or about being a good person or about promoting being productive. Or the bottom line is always dollars and cents. And if it's not going to sell, the industry is not going to widely support it.
That's so true. That's so true, Kim.
Truth.
Yep.
So that's just my
But I know that one person can make a difference, and we can find some kind of common ground, because if we have to sell our souls for money, then eventually we're selling our nation out. Then that eventually there's nothing left for our children.
And that's what
I
we've been
believe it's
doing.
a matter of figuring out what sacrifice means to you. So what are you willing to sacrifice in order to make this productive change, in order to make an effective tomorrow? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because we all, on some level, have to sacrifice something in order to not continue to fuel this system that is killing us, that is not working for us. It's working for some people, but and even the people
the majority.
Right. Even the people that think it's working for them, we're all interconnected. So bothering me and it's killing me, then in some way it's going to negatively affect you too. Even if you don't know me, if we don't know each other, it's going to affect you too in some way. So we need to get an understanding of interconnectedness and really believe person can affect change. So one person doing something different, it can wind up creating a ripple effect and affect everything and change everything. But we need to honestly believe that and be willing to figure out, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to get to the change that we want to see?
I completely agree. So when we're saying that a person is doing, this kind of music because they have to eat, I am in total disagreement. Again, it's like you said, it's about the dollars and cents. But when does it, when does the morality of it, take its own shape? You know what I mean? So let's go out there, everyone that's here, and make some good music, make some good poetry, and see where it leads. See who you can affect. Let's not even think about the money aspect of it. Let's just produce good work and put it out there. Okay?
Yeah.
With that said, we're just gonna do a round of poetry, and I am also gonna ask him just to do a small piece so we can hear. Okay? So, we're gonna start off with lyrics, and then we're gonna ask Lioness, Barrington, Kim, and then myself. That's cool.
Yes.
All right. Reminiscing on nights I had to sleep foot to head. Backaches on the constant, for sometimes the concrete felt more comforting. Dilapidated structures, decorated with bullet holes. Conditions worsened by an upsurge of violence. And we still don't know what we're fighting for. If true religion was really a religion, then we will all be saved. Imagine being woken by an empty stomach, hungry to be fed, and the absence of food a repeated occurrence. I never had a job, no wage incoming. War is the only peace I know. It was the only way a ghetto youth felt of use. Young, fragile, and easily influenced to enlist in a service that has no rewards, no compensation for my servitude. I had to keep my eyes open, for sleep was never something I could entertain. I had to keep a lookout for those whose only goal was to take me off the earth. I kept telling myself a lie. The only truth I know is that I'll move out one day, someday, but just not today. Now here I stand before you, playing doctor to scars of a torn past, holding on to beloved memories of those lost. And that was hard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so my next poem I'm gonna read now is That I Am. It's a part of my poetry book, Nova Torch, A Poetic Journey to Namibia. So the link is in the comments. You can go on my website and purchase it. Nova Torch. That I Am. I'm proud of myself to have made it this far, to have traveled so far in search of the answers that nudge at me. First, I lost myself. Sometimes it's a shame to always be learning. My beautiful sister puts it saying, I'm always growing. Enlightenment is not always peaceful. As I become aware of scars that remain from the obstacles, yeah, I study, but it has me questioning, do you know thyself? Action calls for practice, so truly know thyself. Each time I stumble, I get up and stay humble. For when I leap, I fly. Then the more you see and understand why. Doing our greater purpose is our peace of mind, ordained by the gods, kings, and queens, uninterruptedly manifesting our soul right to liberate all with a lioness might. My energy flows like a food chain. Nothing worries me because I have nothing to gain. It's so insane that others so selfishly gain while others live in pain. Giving back is not just charity, but an investment in your community. The race is not for the swift, but who can endure it. I look up in these pearly brown eyes. They shine at me, the hope of the future. Once I only dreamed of impacting lives. Now this is the lifestyle I manifest and nurture. I found peace, realizing success is not a destination. The trot involves many stages. I and I has found peace in this salvation. No more questioning. How is Africa? Africa is a symbol of oneness for Black people. The chosen ones fulfilling their purpose is coming to pass. From my Swahili name, Rashida, I've been given a righteous force. This strength is continuously earned through sacrifice. Now we must work in oneness to continue the works of our greats. Let no freedom fighter work be in vain. We have the gifts of heaven. Retain our culture through African languages. We must put our own first. Create the reality of one continental language so we all communicate through culture, through peace, through unity, through prosperity, and through love.
Thank you. Thank you. What's
Thank
that called
you.
again? What's it called again?
It's called That I Am. And that's the
Nice.
epilogue. Is it the epilogue or prologue? What do you call it? Epilogue? That's the epilogue to my book.
Awesome.
Nice.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Barrington.
Yes, I. See here.
Your turn.
Wonderful. Love that. Love that.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm up.
Yes.
I was waiting to hear what you're saying. All right, cool. So I'm going with this is the final one, right? For today.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to weigh this in the balance of in the scale of my heart. Today are equal rights. Today are equal rights. Oh, it's balance. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna go with equal rights. Equal rights. I don't agree that I am wrong. I've accepted that I am different. Absolutely. Yes. A different way. I am different in how I say what and what I say. Yet you choose to say I am wrong and you are right. Who gave you that right? It is you who took it, right? So you have the authority to right the wrong and wrong the right. Then my poem is addressing you as I write. You who wrote the law when it was being written, did you stop to look at that which you were writing, to see that that which you wrote from the very time you write was to have been saying you have written off my rights?
Boom.
I'm not slowly with words. I know what
brother.
my friends who have been wounded and bleeding never cease to fight. Yo, I continue the journey and I nah left. I left. And if you have overstanding, then you already know say I nah left my rights. All right?
Birthright. Natural. Up. You have to let people know we have rights.
We have
Right
right.
to be free.
Have right.
Brother, you make Jamaican nearly cuss, brother.
No. Wonderful African word, youth. Expression word.
All right. Expression words.
Expression words. Oh, that was really nice. I wasn't expecting that one there. Thank you.
Oh, good thanks, you know.
Mhm.
Today is yesterday's tomorrow, and today will be tomorrow's yesterday. So it's very important for us to do well. See, what you do today will become a part of your past. Ultimately, what you do or don't do today will help to determine your future. So today, start dreaming and dream big. Today, stop dreaming, wake up and live. Use your powerful mind today to be creative. use your time and energy, as I say, to be proactive. You see, today is your only bridge to the life you created, the life you wanted, or the life you will never live.
Mm.
Trying to make, if you're hearing my voice, go ahead and do your thing. It's your choice. My advice today,
Today.
perfect love. And give
Today. Kimberly, would you bless us with a poem, please?
Sure, I can. So you talked about a little bit about women and children and the ways that abuse happens. And that was a bit of a heavy topic, but it's a topic that women and children live every single day. So we can sit in the heavy because some of us live in it. So this piece is Things That Give Me Hope. I hope my abuser goes to a heaven where there are morals, ethics, clear boundaries, where women's bodies are respected, protected, cherished, a heaven where God is a Black woman. Her curves are ridiculously luscious. She is unbought, unbossed, unbothered, and she and her purple lips knows exactly what he's done. Where he must first earn a universal trust before he earns access to a woman's or girl's or man's or boy's or being's mind, body, spirit, a heaven with no loopholes, no hiding places, where a smile is not sufficient to compensate for wrong, a heaven where his meals are joyfully delivered by beautiful, liberated, naked women whom he cannot touch or disrespect or pleasure himself to, not them or their memory, a womanist heaven where he and his proclivities will have no place to call home, where his own body will restrain him from acts that are immoral, where self-control is mandatory and a lack thereof is not a danger to those around, but will be eternal discomfort to the one who is lacking, where this inner struggle will not reflect in the external, but will govern his forever, where morality and good will always win, where he just may feel like he's in hell, where he just may be.
Hmm. Yeah, man. That's his heaven.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah,
Wow. A flip.
awesome. Thank you. We need more people to be the voice of the unvoiced. The people who can't speak for themselves, we need to speak for them. Okay. Thank you, Kim, for that one. And I'm just gonna end it with a poem called Word Warrior. Just be gentle with me because I have not done these poems in a long time. Because you treat her like the enemy. In the blink of an eye, you get so angry that your words turn cruel. Your fire ignites without any fuel. But I think you need to change your plan and uplift your clan because your words are so unkind. Word warrior, do you have to be unkind? Word warrior, you're battering her mind. Word warrior, your words, they cut like a knife. Word warrior, it's like you love to see her cry. Instead of loving her tenderly, I'm sorry, instead of holding her close, you push her away. And actions, they speak louder than words they say. She would rather not feel this way. She says she wants to move on, and she wants to move on today. Because word warrior, your words are so unkind. Word warrior, you're battering her mind. Word warrior, your words,
Wrap up,
they
wrap.
knife. Word warrior, hug her close when you see her cry. Thank you. Word warrior.
Beautiful.
You know, we have a gift. We all here are so gifted and so talented. And I'm just imploring each of us to use this gift to affect some positive change, you know. And thank you for the forum. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for our audience. Thank you for the LCP poets for doing the work that you're doing to reach the masses with poetry. I hope that you come again next week. Next week, actually, we have Bob Dawn, who is an amazing hip hop poet. We have Mama Yaya, my Yaya Nature as the balance.
Yes.
We also have Rainmaker. The poetry is going to be so live next week. I hope that everyone that's here tunes in again next week, and just come and be a part of what is coming up. Okay. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings.
Bless up,
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you for being here. I love you all.
Thank you. Love you too, my